Hey everyone. So today I'm going to read about Ciera Breland. She's a young woman, 31 years old, and was living in Indiana with her husband and newborn baby. I think he was maybe 5 months old or something. And then they had gone to visit her parents and his mother in Georgia. And that's when she disappeared. Last seen at her mother-in-law's house or leaving her mother-in-law's house. It looks like husband has now been named a person of interest. And if you look up husband's photo, I'm telling you, the guy looks creepy. Just between you and me and the world now that it's on YouTube. This is the photo of the guy. And you can just look at his eyes, and this guy creeps me out. I mean, he just seems so creepy. This is Xavier, her husband. And man, you can just see the anger issues in him. They are strong. He definitely has anger issues. I do believe there was violence in their relationship for sure. I think he was very extremist on his views too. That just comes through loud and clear when I look at his picture, that he had these extreme views of the way his wife should behave. And it was believed by him that she should really always obey him. Like that was the kind of relationship that he was up here and she was down here and she was supposed to obey him and do what he wanted all the time. And he, I think, had like fits of rage if things didn't go his way. He was just a real not emotionally healthy person whatsoever is what I'm seeing. Not emotionally well, capable of handling his anger. He had real anger issues. Just not a person that should have had a wife, let alone a baby. So, yuck. Don't like the husband. Don't like the vibe I get from the husband. And then Ciera, I'll show you a picture of her because, she's just this sweet young woman. And she was actually a lawyer. She went to school to be a lawyer, believe it or not. And then now she's disappeared. So here's a picture of her. You can see that. And she just looks to me to be a little too innocent. I know people going to law school, you think that they are going to become lawyers and they become street smart and all of that. I feel like she had a little bit of a naive side to her. Like she was not 100% street smart. She gave this guy too much credit and too many chances is what I get from that. That she was in love and trying to be this person that he wanted her to be, which is really sad because she appears to have had such a promising future. And if only she'd met a better person, but I think he's bad news. So today we're just going to ask a few questions. Going to read the cards on this one. First, we're going to ask about Xavier's involvement because that is what the police are saying, that he was involved. So let me focus for a second. Just take a second to really concentrate. Okay, Xavier's involvement in the disappearance of Ciera. All right, got some cards in here. Let's see what we got. A lot of cards. A lot of cards. Xavier's involvement in the disappearance of Ciera. All right, so this is a conflict card. It's the Five of Wands, and this is when people are trying to do something together, but they have different ideas of the way it should be done. And there's a lot of strife going on, and nothing's getting accomplished because everybody's bickering back and forth and swinging basically their wands around and just being frustrated. This is a card of frustration and things just not being accomplished because they can't agree on how things should be done. So I think that was their relationship. I think there was a lot of conflict in it, and they didn't get along. And he really felt that she should always, from the feeling I got from his photo read, always bow down to him. So let's ask a little bit more about that specific incident where she is nowhere to be found. So his involvement in that specific incident, I do feel this person was very abusive to her. Very abusive to her. And the worst part is she like wanted to be this good wife. That's what I feel like. She was trying to be this good wife, like trying to keep him happy. And he just had fits of rage. He had real rage issues. I don't know if he was on drugs. There's something like more there behind that rage. Okay, so a little bit more. Well, this isn't a good card. That's the world card for Xavier's involvement. And sometimes if you watch my readings, this can be somebody who's taken out of the world. The world is completing a journey. So it's a kind of a final completion of a journey and then starting a new one. And sometimes it means the person has completed their journey on the earth and they're starting the new journey in spirit form. Not saying that's 100% what it means, but I do see the woman completing a journey here. And unfortunately, I kind of am feeling that. Let's read a little bit more. Okay, so here we go. Xavier's involvement. Not a good card, the Seven of Swords. That's sneaking things away, being very sneaky. He does have weapons in his hand that could potentially harm someone, and he's sneaking things away from a house. So I wonder, I think somebody said there was videotape of her leaving the house or something. I just wonder about that videotape and the situation where she was leaving, what's on that videotape too. It just makes me question it. Looks like he definitely had a sneaky involvement. He snuck her away, I do believe, and put her somewhere. We're going to read more about that. It doesn't look good. I mean, you can look at these cards with me. Even if you don't read tarot, you can look at these cards and see, okay, somebody was fighting. Then we have the card where potentially somebody could have been taken out of this world. So the fighting could have led to that. And then this whole sneaking away, sneaking, go hiding things, that element of it. So that's what the cards are saying happened here with Xavier's involvement. Not good. I don't think he's a very good person, if you ask me. He does have violent stalking charges against him. That's what he was arrested on. Not a good person. Let's just ask what happened. This kind of laid that out, but let me ask if there's anything more that we need to know about what happened between Xavier and Ciera that evening, that or day that she disappeared. What happened between Xavier and Ciera? More on that day that she disappeared. What happened? Looks like they got in an argument. Well, this is the Wheel of Fortune card. I know Wheel of Fortune traditionally, if you read tarot, you're probably thinking, well, that means, a turn of fate, right? A turn of events. One thing about the Wheel of Fortune card is if you notice, every single one of the little animals on there has their wings, so they've become angels. Turn of events. There is a devil on there. I do feel this was a turn of events. Sometimes Wheel of Fortune, a lot of the time Wheel of Fortune is a positive turn of events, but in this case, I do feel that this Wheel of Fortune was a negative turn of events. And I do feel there was that domineering aspect to it. This guy up here with a sword is what I'm seeing as Xavier, that was responsible for this turn of events and her fate, unfortunately. I don't think it's a good fate here. I hate saying that, but I just feel like um, he definitely is involved, and I feel like I don't like these swords. I keep seeing like weapons in here in this. We've got the clubs, the wands, and now we've got swords, and it doesn't look good to me. It looks like a turn of events and not into a positive direction. Not into a positive direction at all. I think he took her away too. Um, Possibly west, north, south, east, west. Possibly west. Okay, so let's ask the nearest well-known landmark to where she is right now, because that can be helpful. So let's ask the nearest landmark that people would know. And then when we get this, we can always look on a map. I haven't looked at where is she? Saint in Johns Creek, Georgia, not Saint, just Johns Creek. So she might not be in Johns Creek anymore. We don't know where she is, but the nearest landmark that would be identifiable. So let's see what we're getting. Nearest landmark that would be identifiable. Definitely did not like that Seven of Swords, him sneaking her away. It's not a positive card. Not at all. So, nearest identifiable landmark that people would see and know. It's this card right here. Well, that's the High Priestess. That reminds me of a church. Right away, that's what came to me with this. And there's nuns. I always think of the High Priestess kind of as a nun. So is there a place, what do they even call those places where nuns live? Is it a monastery? I can't remember. Is there a place like that, though? A Catholic church for sure. And it's possibly got nuns in it, is coming to me. So I would look around that area for something like that. For whatever reason, that's what's coming to me today. And another thing that's coming to me, maybe this is significant, maybe it's not, I don't know what it means, but if you look on her arm, she's got the words T-O-R-A on there, Torah, T-O-R-A. And then if you look at the Wheel of Fortune, T-O-R-A, Torah. And that just kind of popped out at me because I've seen it twice now in both of these cards. So I don't know if name of a city, something, a street, I'm not sure, but that's something I would look into because when I get two things right in a row that are jumping out at me as possibly significant, I don't know if there's something in Johns Creek that has the name Torah in it, but it is suspicious for sure that is coming to me. Definitely a Catholicly vibe there too, as the nearest landmark. Okay, let's ask about Ciera today. Tell us about her today and what's. Sometimes you don't want to read this card, but tell us about the state of Ciera today. What is she like? Tell us what's going on with Ciera. So there's certain cards when I read that kind of give me a feeling. We've already got the World card, and that one always makes me wonder if the person has been taken out of this world. That's the thing with the World. It's often somebody else took them out of the world. And this card will give us some idea of that too. With the vibe I got from the husband, I would not doubt it whatsoever. I think she embarrassed him, maybe in front of his mom. Okay, Ciera, today I'm getting two cards. We're going to read them both. This is the Page of Cups. So sometimes the Page of Cups is that can be a water card. And it can be somebody pretending. Sometimes I've gotten this card with somebody pretending they don't know anything about the other person. It's probably what Xavier is doing would be my best guess. And then we have this Knight of Wands too as Ciera today. The Knight of Wands is it's not a card I would expect because it's kind of an interesting card. The Knight of Wands is a person that sort of rushes into things and it's kind of a travel card. Makes me wonder if Mr. Pretender traveled away with her kind of quickly with that Knight of Wands. It sure does. Because it looks like he did something with her. Pretending and travel. So I've got like pretending and travel there. Let me read into that a little bit more. People are saying she would not leave her baby, and they don't think she would uh, pretend to, sometimes people pretend and they create a whole nother life and they start over. But people are saying she would never leave her baby. Even if she did that, she would have taken the baby with her. So this makes me feel Xavier is the pretender. And that he, with that wand, well, the Knight of Wands does things quickly. Let me ask about that again. All right, let's see what we get about Ciera. I think it's point that I believe those cards are pointing to the husband and his involvement again. But let's ask about her. Page of Cups is a water card, so there's that. All right, and here's another water card. So Ciera, today we've got a couple different water cards now, and this whole impulsive Knight of Wands that did something by water is what I'm hearing. And I think Xavier is that Knight of Wands, the impulsive one. The Page of Cups is it's a person who is, think about this card as somebody who's put on kind of a costume and looking different and acting different. And it's somebody who sometimes is eccentric. Somebody can be an actor, somebody who can be on stage and be kind of young and foolish too at times. And I do feel like she was kind of young. She was sort of young, foolish, and just not seeing things for what they were, not wanting to see things for what they were. That's what I feel. She didn't want to see things for what they were, and this guy was impulsive and angry, kind of like that Knight of Wands, rushing in, and she was just too sweet and too in her mind with that Page of Cups. She was convincing herself that things were another way, is what this comes down to. So he was impulsive. He was angry. That you'll go look at that Knight of Wands. I mean, he's kind of an impulsive guy in the tarot, and she kept telling herself and pretending to herself that we're okay. She wanted to believe they were okay. I mean, who could blame her? She was young and kind of, I mean, I know she was 31, but I feel like in her mind she was relationship wise young, that she wanted to believe that everything would be okay. And she kept thinking that things would be different. You can't really talk to a fish in a cup, You're wasting your breath at that point. And that is the Page of Cups card, where this person is trying to talk and communicate with something that really will never understand her, and she will never be understood by this thing. And I feel like that it was the crux of the relationship, and he was just this angry person. He's an angry person and angry at her. I do feel with this water card as her today, sometimes this can stand for a bridge. Might not hurt to look around water in that area. I am feeling that possibly water. Let's ask about that a little bit more, because that's what seems to be coming up, is that she could be in or around water. So let me ask a little bit more about water specifically. Now, if I'm going to get this and she's in water or around water, I would think I would get like a card with water on it. Star card is good for that. Sometimes the Knight of Cups is good for that. There's lots of Cups card, but Knight of Cups actually shows the person going into the water, so I get that one quite a bit. So let's see what I get. All right, Ciera, being around water, being in or around water. In or around water. Tell me about Ciera being in or around water. This card right here. Yeah, she's actually underwater, I think, because this is the Nine of Cups, and that is something that's underwater, is what this card comes out to be often. In good tarot, in normal tarot, not missing person tarot, this is actually a great card to get. It's like your wishes fulfilled, but that's not in a missing reading. In a missing reading, I've kind of developed my own language here with cards that I get again and again, and I go back and say, oh, okay, that's what it meant. And this one has come up before for people that are underwater. So, and we're getting all these water cards, the Page of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and now we've got the Nine of Cups. And this impulsive person. Yeah, she's hidden underwater, possibly by a bridge, is what I'm getting from here. Love to be wrong. Would love to be wrong, but that is what I'm getting. And then we've got like the landmark around there. Nearest well-known landmark is this possibly Catholic church, maybe a nunnery place. Definitely has a theme of religion to that. And I don't know why, but I'm feeling Catholic. And then there's that T-O-R-A. So is there a church with those names in it? Is that T-O-R-A significant somehow? I would look into that. When I get it twice in a row like that, usually it means something. Okay. Of course, I'm not in St. John's. Oh, I want to keep saying St. John's. Is there a St. John's Catholic Church there? I don't know why that keeps coming to me, but really, you might want to look. Johns Creek, Georgia. Johns Creek, Georgia. I'm not there, so I can't interpret what this could be, but for those of you who live there, it might not hurt to look into that. Okay, everyone, hopefully they find this girl soon. I'd look in water. Sadly. Take care. Bye.